Can a child be held criminally liable? Criminal jurisprudence affirms the absence of criminal liability or accountability in a human below age criteria. The term juvenile is defined as anyone who is declared as minor or below a certain age. However, the age criteria vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, where in most countries it is below 18 years of age and in some it is 20 years. Under the juvenile justice system, adults and juveniles are prosecuted under different judicial procedures due to the absence of criminal intent in a juvenile's criminal act. UAE Penal Code for Juveniles. The UAE has always considered measures to safeguard the interest of the child, consequently promulgated laws and regulations in association with juvenile delinquency. Federal Law No. 9 of 1976 regarding juvenile delinquents and vagrants, or the Juvenile Law, defines a juvenile as any human being less than 18 years old at the time of committing any crime, under Article 1. Nevertheless, any individual who is below the age of 16 years of age at the time of committing an offense punishable under the UAE Penal Code will be subject to the punishment decided by the court as it may deem fit. Aptly, any crime attracting capital punishment or life imprisonment shall be replaced with a maximum of 10 years of imprisonment for juveniles. This is following Article 10 of the Juvenile Law. Apart from penalties, the Juvenile Committee shall set up appropriate institutions for juvenile study and education programs. The government of UAE has also established juvenile rehabilitation centers under Federal Law No. 43 of 1992, the Rehabilitation of Juvenile Law, entailing provisions for rehabilitation. UAE Juvenile Centers. According to Article 49 of the said law, the Ministry of Interior shall pass a resolution for establishing a committee for rehabilitating juveniles prosecuted for crime along with confirmation of Ministry of Labor and Social Affairs, head by the President of Federal Public Prosecution, and shall include following members: A. An officer. B. Psychology specialist. C. A representative from the Ministry of Education. D. A representative from the Social Affairs Ministry. The Rehabilitation of Juvenile Law ensures the betterment of juveniles and entails provisions that will enhance their growth and educate them and allow them to understand the value of social life, subject that the resolution is passed based on the confirmation received from the committee. The international recognition. Internationally, the juvenile system also considers the age of the juvenile who committed the crime and has laid down measures to safeguard the interest of the juvenile. Consequently, several countries have imposed legislation protecting children from abuse of law. Innumerable international conventions and guidelines have been issued by international organizations, providing the basis for several countries' juvenile legal framework, which are as follows: A. United Nations Convention on the Children's Rights, 1989. B. United Nations Guidelines for the Protection of Juveniles Deprived of Liberty, 1990. C. International Conventions on Civil and Political Rights, 1966. D. UN Guidelines for Preventing Delinquency of Children, 1990.
For more of our latest updates, like and subscribe to this channel.